Hello everyone, welcome to Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com and all of our various media outlets. Thank you all for watching this week, as you do each and every week here on the show. Your support is appreciated and loved. I greatly am appreciative, like I said, of everybody tuning in and watching the show. Let's get to your questions. These first set comes from Twitter. First one is from Ricky Lawson. What do you think about WWE having Bo Dallas join the Wyatt family? That would be interesting in the respect that the Wyatt brothers would be the Rotunda brothers would be together, but I don't know. I think it would work in the fact that Bo has been trying to be so positive and so just you gotta believe and just believe in yourself and blah blah blah. That it could work. That's like you know what? Fuck you guys. You don't believe in me, so I'm not gonna believe in you. Excuse me. But, I don't know. The fact that they haven't really done anything with him since before WrestleMania, really anything solid with him, and the fact that they had Sting drop him off air really shows how much they believe in Bo. So, it could work. I don't think it'd be a bad thing necessarily, but it'd be very interesting to see how they pull it off. I really think they need to keep the storyline going and get Rowan back and get him back in the fold too. So we'll see if they have Rowan back and if they even add anybody else. This is from @BobGood554. Who would you say was the best heel in the 80s in the WWE? You know, this is one of those questions where I just go, oh, because who was a better heel in the 1980s in the WWF than Rowdy Roddy Piper? Piper was the guy, the antagonist against Hulk Hogan, against Jimmy Snuka, against Mr. T, against everybody that he came up against in the WWF, and really pushed Hulkamania and pushed the WWF itself toward Madison Square Garden, toward the war to settle the score, toward WrestleMania 1. Without Roddy Piper being the antagonist to the all-powerful Hulkamania, there is no WrestleMania, period. There's just none. So for anybody to infer that there was a better heel than Roddy Piper in the 80s is not accurate. There is a solid argument, however, for a couple of number 2s, or 1As even. DiBiase, the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, was an unbelievably hated individual in the mid to late 80s. Nobody was more antagonistic and more reviled than the Million Dollar Man toward the later part of the 80s. So it's a solid argument between Piper and DiBiase. My personal pick is Piper, because without Piper being the bad guy, without Piper being that unbelievable heel, there is no Hulkamania to counteract against him, and there is no main event for WrestleMania. And without WrestleMania, I'm not sitting here at this table. @Isaac51290, why is it the WWE focuses more on in-ring work rather than building characters and storylines in 2015? Isaac, are you watching the product? They do both. They have been doing both. The in-ring work is important now because of people the WWE trying to establish their superstars and divas and legends as credible performance athletes, not just characters to get behind in a storyline entertainment medium. They want to show the athletic side of the divas like Charlotte. They want to show the athletic side of the superstars like Cena and, you know, the guys coming from NXT. They want to show both sides. They want to show an equal amount of entertainment value and sport value. That's why they're called sports entertainment. Seth Rollins, he lives in the gym. He's unbelievable. You got Brock Lesnar, who trains like a beast. You've got all these beasts. You got all these guys who are in the gym every day. Guys like the Primetime Players. Guys like, you know, there's so many to name off the top of my head. I can't even ration it all out of my head. But there's not just storyline development. There's not just character development. There's in-ring work too. You have to look good in between the ropes of the squared circle in order to be an effective character once you're behind the microphone. There's a very huge importance to the balance of the business. And for them to focus more on in-ring work now than they did ever before is a testament to how WWE has evolved in the last 10, 15 years. All right, let's see. A couple questions from @Ethan Hanley CCFC. Hi Jeff, as I know you love the Divas division, who should be in the WrestleMania 32 match? For you, for me, it's Natty versus Sasha. I'm going to tell all of you right now, thank you for the question, Ethan. Everybody watching right now, open up a new tab in your browser window, WWE Network, or go on your TV. If you're watching the computer, watch this on the TV. Go to the network, go to TakeOver. I forget which TakeOver it is now. It's the one middle part of the run of TakeOver on NXT, and watch Natalya versus Charlotte. And then you tell me why I think that match should be the Divas match at WrestleMania 32. His other question, just wondering, do you think that Ronda Rousey is the most dangerous woman ever? Hashtag, I'd only last 34 seconds too. Ronda Rousey is the most dangerous woman on the planet as far as fighting, combat skills, performance is concerned. She is unbelievable. She has made me a believer. She has made me turn on UFC and watch their pay-per-views. I'm not paying $50 for it. Let's be honest about that right now. I don't really care if they don't like it's mad at me for that or not. But it's crazy how one person has turned the world upside down with her unbelievable skills inside the octagon and shown that you can be this pretty, athletic, woman and still be a certifiable badass. And she's been through some shit in her life. She lost her dad early on. She's struggled a lot. She's a California girl, which I absolutely love. She's a Kings fan, so hell yeah to that. She's awesome. Is she the most dangerous woman ever in combat fighting? Yes. I'd love to see what the WWE does with her if they actually get their hands on her. That'd be great to see. @MJohnson276. Hi Jeff, were you ever a fan of New Jack? I don't like him because of his actions in and out of the ring. I do like New Jack. I do like... I met him a couple times through various wanderings of my journey. Last time I saw him was at an Epic show back in 2010 where Wyatt, my company used to work with for women's wrestling, had a match on that card. He was he was in the main event. He came out at the very end of the show, did a run-in. I found him to be very agreeable then, but I'm sure back in 98, 97, 96, he was crazy. I'm sure he was not a nice person. New Jack was what he said he was. He was a straight-up gangsta. And I know that's crazy for a white guy in 2015 to say, but, he was certifiably nuts and certifiably mean. So for us to not like, you know what? Don't watch ECW then, because that's what ECW was all about. It was about badasses. It was about real characters. It was about unbelievable plot lines and unbelievable storylines and over-imaginative stuff taking place in the wrestling business. Not cartoons, just very over-imaginative. And very real at the same time. So explain that one if you can. New Jack always walked that line. Sometimes he crossed that line more than once. And I don't dislike him. I'm indifferent. But he was nice to me when I met him. This is from @MRYUKK. If Reigns turned heel, feuded with Cena a while, and then face turned down the line, would such get him over better? I hesitate to talk about Roman Reigns because no matter what I say, I'm wrong. Either I like the guy too much, or I harp on him too much, or I'm Aaron and I can't say anything right to you guys with regards to Roman Reigns. I personally think that he is doing just fine where he is, and that people need to lay off his ass. That's just how I feel about that. I think that Roman Reigns is an awesome character right now. He's a badass. He's got a great work ethic. He wants so bad to do so well in this industry. And I don't honestly understand, much like with Cena and all the hatred spewed upon him, I don't understand the Roman hate. I'm not impressed with Roman myself as far as his in-ring ability, but he's getting better. He is getting better. He had a solid outing at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar, and those guys both beat the shit out of each other. And for anybody in the world, WWE or otherwise, to stand toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar for the world title says something about how athletic you are and how much of a unbelievable specimen in the ring you are. And I think Roman just needs to be given a little bit more credit for how well he's done in spite of all the odds thrust upon him and against him. It's ridiculous. He's good. He's green. He's very green. But you know what? I'm green. I don't wrestle worth a shit. So my opinion means dick to him. So I think Roman has the capability of being better than he is. Just give him time. Just gotta give him time. Let's see, one more here. We'll do at Chaos Magician 97. What former stars would you like to see in NXT in the role that Rhino has? Oh, if he can get healthy, Christian. If they'll use him the right way, Brian Kendrick again. Joe's doing a great job as a former big star in another company, but he's established himself in WWE now. Rhino's doing a great job. You mentioned Rhino, Chaos. Yeah, Christian, Brian Kendrick. Let's see. I honestly would like to see guys that haven't been around in a while that can still go. I got a great example. You got a guy right now in MMA who was in WWE once, and as far as the WWF goes, and had a solid outing in his last fight, but could really, if he really wanted to, he could be a decent WWE NXT worker. And that's Ken Shamrock. I like to see Shamrock go and be in that role of helping to build the younger talent and really getting himself over at the same time. That's just how I feel about that part. Thank you all so much for watching this week on Talk Wrestling. We'll be back next week with even more questions from Instagram and other social media outlets. Don't forget to check out this week. We have our predictions for SummerSlam and for NXT, so stay tuned for that. We will see you guys next time.